again went up to Duluth with a different ex-boyfriend. Hey y'all! I know this is kind of crazy. I'm making another video. It's been quite some time since I actually recorded a video and started talking. The videos that you've seen previously are really old videos that I have filmed back in December 2025. It is now May 31st of 2026. I know. It is really bad. So this is the first video you guys are going to see that's more or less recent. And ignore any of the mess. I was doing laundry and I like to have things air dry. But yeah, cheers. This is the triple Carmelite. For those of you guys who ever go to Belgium, this is a really good solid beer that a lot of us get as kind of just a decent mid-range beer. I can do a whole video on some of the beers that I've really liked here and explaining some of the differences, and I can also learn more of the differences because I only really just go and try things, and I'm not nearly as prolific as some of my friends. One friend is now trying to, because he realized that he only had 400 photos on his entire camera on his phone since 2017. He's like, okay, my goal now is to get more beers logged into this one beer app, which will be this one right here, than on his actual phone. And he's really close, actually. He's at over 300, which he hasn't been logging it since 2017. So yeah, kind of crazy. This came about recently because we were all out having a nice summer drink, and I wanted to get a photo because I looked really nice, because I have still been following on that New Year's resolution of getting more photos and posting more often in terms of some of my other social media, because I don't take many photos of myself because I never feel that pretty. And this friend was really bad at it. One of the other guys had to take much better photos, but that whole conversation came about. Back to summer and our summer bucket list, because I want to do that again. I don't have a good little chart thing that I did last time, mostly because I don't really want to buy construction paper, but I do have a list here. So with my summer bucket list, this first one is one that I will, I want to see if I can do it. If I don't, okay, but I want to try to complete the Lexington Public Library's summer reading challenge. And this is for the adults. I'll do a whole separate video just explaining the books that I have for each category. If I hit them, okay, I just want to be reading, I love reading, and I want to be reading more diversely generally. In this case, it's about 15 books, and I consider it from the start of when the UK would have started their summer. You have the graduation, that would have been, I think it was May 9th, and then ever since then, any of the books that go until when the University of Kentucky starts up classes again. I think that's a good solid range for that challenge. The next one that I have for something I want to do this summer is actually go to the beach. So with this, there are a couple of options. The first one is just going to the beach that's here in Ghent. There is a lake that has a beach, and I've actually never really done many lake beach trips. That was not for something I did. I grew up in Huntington Beach, so I always went to the actual beach. The closest you could say some of those mother beaches that were kind of in a harbor, but never went to the lakes when I was in Minnesota or when I was in Kentucky. The only time I was ever really on a lake when I was in Minnesota was going to Lake Superior one time, and that was kind of on the beach. I went there with one ex-boyfriend. Then I went to Lake Superior again because I went up to Duluth with a different ex-boyfriend. And in that trip, there was also another lake because I was at my then boyfriend's lake house. The family had a cabin on a lake, and that one, there was also a lake, but the lake was pretty much frozen over because it was March in Minnesota, or no, Wisconsin. So either way. I get to go to a beach, so I either go to the beach in Ghent, which is actually where this the fun photo was taken, was pretty much on that lake, or the other is going to Ostend, which Ostend is about an hour away via the train, and go to the beach there. One of my housemates really likes it, and so I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll go. And then also in Ostend, they have the place that kind of invented waffles. I don't know which type of waffles, because there are two types of waffles in Belgium. You've got the Bruxelles, which is the Brussels waffles, or the Liège waffles. Don't know the difference. But apparently this one place called Exhibit Max invented the waffles. It used to be here in Ghent, but as of 2021 it moved over to Ostend. Yeah, that was a whole thing. I was trying to find information about it because one of the professors that I work with was like, oh, you've got to go check this out, when my parents were in town. And so I kept on Googling and Googling and Googling, and then it was like, oh, it was here but it's no more. It's because people didn't want to drive into the city. And I mean, I don't blame them. Like, you don't really drive here in Ghent much. So the next one is hosting a 4th of July party. I have been really into hosting nowadays. So I read a while back, Having People Over. For those who are familiar with The Financial Diet, it's the same woman that is like the host, the main host, and like kind of the like CEO of The Financial Diet. She wrote a book all about hosting, and I really found it interesting because I always wanted to be more of a host. I wanted to be really social, but I never felt super comfortable in it. And like my parents were not much for hosting. My mom always said she'd invite a bunch of people and nobody would show up. And that had been the case for me growing up too. So I was always kind of hesitant about it. But I want to foster relationships. So I'm doing this. And I'm planning on having some guests over for a dinner in a couple of weeks. Or actually, by the time this comes up, I would have already had this one party occur. And then I want to host a 4th of July party where like we have hot dogs and potato salad and pasta salad and just have a fun like 4th of July with like friends and coworkers. And I think that would be a great one. Have my housemates involved, have my coworkers involved, and just have a good day out and about. And I'll probably get bit a lot because I get bit so much by the mosquitoes here. I never thought I would say I miss the US for the fact that they spray for mosquitoes, but I do now. I very much do now. The next one I have is like, and this goes actually kind of into some of the discussion I had with like an older New Year's resolution, is to knit a scarf, which I know you can see how sweaty I am, but like trying to knit a scarf with a pattern so that I could start to actually kind of learn and pick up those skills. And by doing it with a pattern, like a scarf, you can just, I've made scarves before, but doing one that actually has a like strict pattern to it, that would be a really like another step in learning how to actually knit. It's one step above what I've already been doing. And I can do that while listening to like an audiobook or something. So I can kind of be a little bit more offline, a little bit more just like not always glued to my phone. Although the audiobook would obviously be on my phone, but like you get what I mean. I'm not like just scrolling and scrolling and doom scrolling and doom scrolling. Also, I could be doing it while with like my friends, like we're just sitting about and I can be knitting. So I think that would be a really useful skill to have. Now we're getting into some like other things that I think would be really fun to do, and that would be running a 5K. I keep on saying I want to run. It's a little hard here. Again, you can see heat, but also I think this has been like a crazy heat wave right now because also nobody does freaking AC. Oh my god, no fans either. I need to pick that up. I have like a coupon, not a coupon, but I like had to return something to one of the like technology places, and I'm probably gonna pick up a small fan for my room because I am just dying here. So, and like I have tall ceilings, but that still is not helping much. So, but I want to kind of try and do a 5K, like just run it myself. No big like hoopla about it, but just start to get into the more habit of running and be able to like say that I have actually run a 5K. I have like, I stay relatively active. I do walk a decent amount. I also go to Pilates typically like twice a week. So I have multiple activities going on. And so I think this is a good next step for me to be doing. It helps honestly with like my cardio because Pilates, there is some, but not a lot. A lot of it more is core. So I think Pilates plus running is a good combination of things. One's really hard on your joints and one is supposed to be much easier on your joints. So I think overall that will be a good like summer activity. The next one is bake one thing a week. I'm probably going to try to start this in June. I have yet, and that, I mean, so we'll see how things go initially because like I had not thought about baking as much, but I really do enjoy it. I just haven't because also sometimes with work, timing, living with 10 other people, like 9 other people, there's 10 of us here, but 9 other people, it can get a lot. And it's sometimes hard trying to find like similar ingredients that I would use in American baking. So the last time I actually baked was for my birthday, which was back in the end of January because in my office, it's really common to bring in baked goods. Some people bring in like pies or order them. I brought red velvet brownies with like a cream cheese like swirl in it. Those were like, they were very confused, honestly, because it was like brownies. I mean, yes, oh, this was supposed to be red velvet, but like the cocoa powder here is so dark that even with the vinegar and red food coloring, it didn't work actually. Like the Dutch processed like cocoa powder does not lend itself well to working with like red velvet. And then also with cream cheese, that's not what they call it here. It's Philadelphia and it comes in tubs, not in like the bricks that you would see in the States typically. I mean, you also have it in like containers, but you can buy like a brick of cream cheese in the US. That's not as much of a thing here. And like they only think of cream cheese as Philadelphia, and there's no like store brand version at any of the grocery stores here. And then the kind of last thing I'm thinking of trying to do over this summer, and I think it'd be kind of a fun one, is to really make sure that I can get my splits back. I've yet to try to see if I can do the splits, but I kind of find it think it'd be fun to be able to do my splits again and be able to do also side splits, which were never actually something I was able to do, but trying to bring back some of that flexibility that I have lost over the past like 10 years because I stopped dancing like consistently. I like had been working out a little bit more sporadically. Like I kind of, during the last part of graduate school, I was a lot more consistent in working out those last like 2.5 years, but it could have been better, honestly. And I think being able to be as flexible would be super useful. There is the quote from like Joseph Pilates that was like, you're only as old as your back. And so being able to like, since I've been doing all this stuff with Pilates, being able to bring back things like I have a lot of strength, and getting to do the splits again, I think will be pretty good. Although it may also hurt me with Pilates because sometimes there have been things where I've just been like uber flexible, and so I can't actually do some of the steps because they're like, okay, bring the arms, like the legs up, and then like as it folds over, like roll further so the back gets off the reformer. And I'm just like, my back just goes whomp, like that's all it does. So yeah, that can sometimes be a problem. But I do think these as like an option for like things to focus on this summer, because this with like June, July, and August, will be staying here longer for another like year. That's what's going on with my contract. I think this will be a good time to just kind of go out and do things and again have fun. This is like a time to really, I'm not gonna kind of lock in on trying to be the person I want to be. I've also, during this whole time, in the month of June, I'm taking this like career course because I know that I don't plan on staying in Belgium forever. So I need to start to think about what my next steps are going to be, even though I've got over a year, but just so I can get myself set up in the right path, that once I move back to the States, I can, even if I don't start like immediately, I still am like ready to go, and I'm not doing that like long wait that I did the last time where I almost wasn't working for 7-8 months. The other thing with being in Belgium, I can really work to be the person I want to be. I've been enjoying life. I've been making great friends. I've been having a lot of fun. And I think this summer is really one where I can do that more with like, I have a little bit of travel planned, but not anything super crazy. Mostly because I want to be able to do work, but I think there's going to be more fun things for me to do. I just need to like save up the money to go do that. Like I really want to go to Disneyland Paris, but oh my gosh, is it expensive. But yeah, I hope you guys like this, and I will be back more often. Like I said, I will make a video about the books that I do hope to try to read this summer. If I don't, okay, but it's better that I have been trying than not try at all, in my opinion. And yeah, so I will catch you guys later. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!